said, boy, we need some help to rebuild this country, man. It's been flattened by war. So they dropped a load of flyers over the country. They said, come to England, the streets are paved with gold. The streets, it's kind of like 40 acres and a mule for you lot, but yeah, streets are paved with gold. So my nan come there with the best of intentions. My dad was there getting his head kicked in by the National Front, age 13, yeah. Then I'm born, so my dad moves out of London. It feels like it's a bit too, it's like moving from New York to New Jersey to like give us a bit more chance. But when I'm in there now, I'm the only black kid in class, innit? But I didn't know this. So the ugly duckling doesn't in fact know he's a swan, does he? He's just being ridiculed as the ugly duckling. But full now, so when I come to realise, I can read and write before I went to school, so I was learning all my own stuff, but a lot of, the only people I can relate to, white people, because you can't write off all white people, I can tell you that. There's some white people, yeah, they're more black inside than some black people.
Hey,
some black
you can go right in
in the morning, so you look in the mirror and you see a white person.
Go right up in there.
Yeah, so you can't write them all off, but I'd say the educated ones you can deal with. Like if someone's got a history degree at Cambridge, you have to know they're not racist.
I see what you're saying. People,
because they've studied the
trying to get me to use my damn head.
Say again?
I said people is gone. That's what you're trying to tell me to use my head.
Yeah, man.
Nigerians from England going back to Nigeria to South Africa.
And then they don't know they walking right past the truth.
So a lot of white people, they go and study the
Matrix, man.
That's exactly what it is.
You gotta take
The Matrix.
Right. Because they study more of our history than we study our history.
Yes.
That's the problem. We don't study anything.
I know.
We study how to get high and how to get money.
Yes.
But it's more to life than sure. You know what I'm saying?
I'm worried about this man. Can you get him a meal, please, brother? He's starving, man. This man's starving.
No, you good.
Get him a Wendy's or something.
No, you good. Yeah, we take him after the Sabbath, you know.
I'm going to stick it on the Trump boys quickly.
Where you going? Where you going, man? You leaving?
I'm going to go Trump Tower and just start a little...
No, you don't do that, man. Come on.
Brother, I've been there already, bro.
Oh, don't worry.
I'm going to tell them, look, make America great again. Yes, it can
When
happen.
has America ever been great?
First, you stop shooting the blacks. I'll tell them. And I'll say, in fact, we're not even using that term blacks anymore. What do you want to say?
And you know what he's going to tell you? And you know what's going to happen? He's going to ignore you.
Right.
No,
That's because this country hate black people.
Let me tell you,
this
brother.
country and the UK hates black people.
More than America hates
Okay.
black people.
I watch the footage. I see the brothers out there in the UK trying to hold it down.
You have overt racism.
So why would if that's the case, then why would the white man listen to you? He ain't going to listen to you.
We have institutional racism. Bro, when I open my mouth...
The white man is the devil.
Let me tell you.
No. Listen.
2018, just let me tell you a story. I landed in California, bro. I jumped into a Tahoe, bro. I drove 100 miles an hour down the I-10, weaving in and out of traffic the whole way, all through Texas, down, New Orleans, keep going. Bro, I got pulled twice. I swapped over the car in Louisiana for a Mustang. I was doing the same. The guy pulled me, right? When he opened the door, he could smell a little bit of weed, etc. Yeah? As I got out of the car, I gave him my license.
But that's on you. Though.
He went to his car.
But that's on you.
He went to his car.
Give me Romans 13.
He went to his car, yeah, so he's done his checks. He come back to me, and he's like, if you would have been 3 miles back that way in the city limits, I'll be taking your ass to jail.
You're asking about the law. You have to obey the law of the land. We know the white man, 13:1. We know the white man, that he has the power, and the Most High gave him the power. We once had the power, but when we broke the commandments of God, the Most High, the Creator, put the white man over. Check this out. Read that real quick, brother.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Let every soul, you have a soul, right? We have a soul. But the Lord said, let every soul be subject unto the higher power, meaning the ones who have the higher power is the ones that the Most High put in charge, the white man. You understand? So he has wicked laws. He has wicked laws. You understand? But we have to follow those laws. We can't just go in the bank and stick it up or just run through red lights. The Most High put him in power to punish us. You understand? Come on.
For there is no power but of the Most High.
See, nobody gets power unless the Most High wills it. The white man got his power based on what we did and his authority. You understand? The Most High's authority, that is. So there's no power except it's set up by the Most High. Come on.
The powers that are ordained of the power.
Right.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power.
Now, if you resist the power, like you said, you smoke weed, or we was do something out of order with the Most High, the Lord said, he therefore that resisted the power. You listening? I want you to hear this too. Come on.
Resisteth the ordinance of the power.
Resist the what?
resisteth the ordinance of the power.
Ordinance of the Most High. The Most High, He sets up the power. You understand? So when you resist and go against the grain, the Most High will spank you. You understand? What are you saying about the sun?
I'm just looking.
Okay. You understand what that means?
I wasn't really hearing.
What's your nationality?
Hispanic.
Hispanic? Where on that sign are you from?
What is your father? Towards the bottom, man. What is your father?
My father? Good job.
You know your father?
One balance.
Huh? Oh, so you're Zebulon then? What?
Yes.
What you need to tell your Hispanic brothers to do is to rally up, join forces with the black people, and then come back and take back the power.
Yeah, but take the Zebulon. You put a stop in Zebulon, correct? All right, you put a stop in Zebulon. So you know you got to keep the commandments, right?
Not really yet. Aware of it.
All right, so but you're responsible now, since you're in front of us.
I mean, I was just checking it out.
Yeah, I understand, but you're responsible now while we teach you. You have to notice that.
I mean,
Yeah, think about it. You're responsible in America, right? Okay. So you get a ticket if you do something wrong, correct? So you'll get spanked by the Most High if you do something wrong. Same thing. So now you're in front of us, the blood is on our hand. We have to teach you and tell you what's going on. You have to teach you the right thing. Let me get Isaiah 58:1.
Isaiah 51?
Yeah, Isaiah 58:1.
58.
But watch this. This is very important.
Working on the trunk of his people, cages, and the wall.
Because this is what America doesn't teach our people. Doesn't teach us anything. It teaches the tricks of the world. Okay, read that.
Isaiah chapter 58 verse 1. Cry aloud.
Cry what?
Aloud.
Cry aloud. That means speak loud. Read.
Spare not.
Don't spend that. Don't care if nobody get offended. Read.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet,
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Means to speak loud. Read.
and show my people their transgression.
And show my people their transgression. Get the next verse. How about that? It said show what?
Show my people their transgression.
Show my people. That's the key word, my people. It didn't say everybody, right? Did he say everybody?
No.
Or did he say what? Read that part again.
Show my people their
right?
transgression.
Show my people their transgression. So we have to show our people what they're doing wrong. Like I see one prompt you got it ready. Let's get that. Let's go to Leviticus. What's it? 27 or 28? We're going to tattoos.
What is that? 28?
28 and
2019,
20, right, 2019.
28 or 27, 19.
We're going to show you something. Because right there what you have, that's a sin.
Leviticus 27.
But you didn't know. Wait, I'm gonna get Leviticus. Give me a second.
Let me take a picture of your dictionary, bro.
Look on your
Please.
phone. Look on.
Please,
Give me a second. I'm gonna find it for you. Hold on.
That book.
Give me a second. Read something. Read something. Just go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Got it. Yeah. Now, what about Black Store Dictionary? You get down with that? You got it, yeah?
19 to 28. Leviticus 19:28.
Got it. That's the one I want. Yeah. Now watch this. Yeah, read that.
Leviticus
Leviticus,
19:28, King.
But hold that. Yeah. I remember that one. This is Leviticus.
I got the Isaiah.
Respect, man. But this is very important. This is what we got to teach our people. Because our people don't know this stuff. And America is not going to teach it. So guess what? The Most High's people got to teach our people. Read.
Leviticus chapter 19 verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the
It
dead,
said, me shall I what?
nor any cuttings on your flesh for the
You
dead.
meaning put in tattoos. Meaning rest in peace, mommy. Rest in peace, daddy. Rest in peace to my mommy. You're not supposed to do that. Read.
Nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
See what it says? Nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. Meaning when you want to print something like Planet Fitness, you're not supposed to do that. So either way, the Bible always covers things like that. So we have to stand here and correct our people. This is not to beat you down. This is to uplift you and to make you a better person, to make you a better man, to make you and you have to become a better husband if you're married. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the leaders and the rulers. Give me Corinthians 13 and 1.
My flag is right there.
First
What?
Corinthians.
My flag.
Which one?
My flag.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Tattoos is just an idol worship.
Right.
First Corinthians, King.
Yeah, First Corinthians, yeah. No, but let him get it.
First Corinthians chapter what?
13 and 1 with the
First Corinthians 13:1.
13 and 1. The order.
1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men
Though I speak with the tongues of men, read,
and of angels,
on of angels, the order. The order with the man, the woman is the head.
Oh, First Corinthians 11.
11. Okay, my mistake. I was close. Because we have to be the rulers and we have to set an example. A lot of the men are not setting examples because a lot of men still want to be little boys. We got to be men, not boys.
What verse you want?
13. You can start at 2. Let's start at 2.
First Corinthians 11 and 2.
11 and 2. Now watch this.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 2. Now I praise you,
Now I
brethren,
praise you, brethren, read.
that ye remember me in all
You
things.
remember me in all things. So you remember who? I think this is at the time of Paul, correct? Remember Paul in all things, read.
And keep the ordinances
And keep the ordinances, meaning keep the order, read.
as I deliver them to you.
As I deliver them to you, read.
But I will have you know
But I will have you know that the what?
that the head of every man
That
is
the
Christ.
head of every man is who?
Christ.
That the head of every man is Christ. So guess what? Everybody on this earth got a head. When you have a job, you have a head, right? You have a supervisor, you have a boss, you have this manager, that manager. Read that part over.
But I will have you know
But I will have you know, read.
that the head of every man
That the head of every man is who?
is Christ.
It's Christ, read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the who?
Woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. So guess what? We're over the woman. So there is no equal there. There is no 50-50. No, I'm 100%. I'm a man, and I'm over you because you're a woman. That's how it goes. Read.
In the head of Christ.
And the who?
In the head of Christ
Even Christ got a head. And the head of Christ is who?
is the Most High.
And the head of Christ is the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes down. So we got to set up an example for our nation. You know what I'm saying? That's what we have to do. You have any questions on this on here? Any questions? Anything you want to bring out?
Disrespect.
Thanks, man.
I got a question for you though before you leave. How do you feel about what's happening with the wall? They're trying to tell you that they're putting your portion of our people in cages. They got squads going through the hood, shipping you back. How do you feel about that? You know, for a long time, we've been telling a lot of, not just from Ecuador, but from also Mexico, from Central America. My parents are from Central America. My parents are from Belize. Understand? But we've been telling them for a while that the white man just look at you as Spanish-speaking niggas. They don't respect you. They don't love you. We've been telling you and trying to get you brothers to unite with us because we're family. Understand? But now the white man, he putting the pressure on you. He's showing you that he don't love you. He don't have no love for you. Understand? We see it every day on the news. This is a big topic. So how do you feel about that?
It triggers me.
Triggers you to what extent?
I don't know. Makes me want to do something about what's going on with the laws.
It's Elon. Say it again. Keep an eye on Elon.
Just
Switch hands. Huh?
kind of worry about.
Keep an eye on me.
Is that a car?
Now let's look at the cop giving that ticket.
Yeah, it just makes me want to do something about the law.
You got to do this, man. This is what you got to do. Let's keep an eye on them. This is what you got to do. Because now you know you're a Jew. We're trying to show you that you're a Jew. You understand? Those are just names the white man gave you. That's all that is. Just like Mexicans. Just like the Mexicans. That's just names they get. That's just names you get, the white man give them. Give me Micah 2 and 2. That's all that is. But the Bible has the truth, man. The truth is in the Holy Bible. You understand? And a lot of you brothers from Central and South America, you got to start realizing that the so-called black man in this country, a portion of North America, are your brothers. And the white man, he's our enemy. You're going to realize that. See, now the white man, he putting his foot on your neck now. He's making it really hard for you now. You understand? There was a time where I ran into people from Central America or Mexico, They were kind of cold and rude. Now they're very friendly. They're very friendly. And they got a lot to say now in kinder terms now. Because they seeing this white man, he coming down on them. Check this out. Read that real quick. Micah 2, verse 2.
Micah.
Come on.
Micah, chapter 2, verse 2.
Come on.
And they covet field.
The Lord said, and they, it's not the wicked. When you covet something, it's a strong desire to take something or want something rather that doesn't belong to you. The Lord said, the wicked, they covet fields. Fields represent lands. Mexico would be considered a field. Central America would be considered a field. Guatemala would be considered a field. You understand? El Salvador would be considered a field. So the Lord said they covet fields, come on.
And take them by violence.
And take them by violence. How did you speak Spanish? How did your foreparents learn the Spanish language?
Their own country.
Huh?
Their country.
How did they learn the Spanish language? Was that the original native tongue in your land? Spanish?
Spanish, yeah.
No. Puerto Ricans, how did they learn Spanish? Mexicans, how did they learn Spanish?
Like throughout families.
No, it was forced on you by the Spaniards, the whites who came there. They're from Spain.
Oh.
And they forced those languages on you, just like they gave
You're right,
you.
yeah.
Give me the devil over there. Just like they gave you this in Catholicism. They gave you this. They gave you this. How'd your people learn this? You've seen this before, right?
I've seen that.
Yeah, I know you've seen this.
What language were they speaking before the Spaniards came?
Hebrew. The real. Come here.
No.
Come here. See, now you got to run.
That's bullshit.
Let me ask you.
Hebrew was in the Middle East, not in Spain.
And how did? And if you stand
You know what a Hebrew means?
Who are the real Hebrews?
Everyone but the Gentiles is the Hebrew.
Okay, let me ask you. Calm down.
I don't have
want you
time.
here. Come here. Don't run. Come here. Don't run. Why you gonna run for it? See, the white man, he runs when the truth is about to come out. But you are the real Hebrew Israelites. You understand? The original language you spoke was Hebrew. You understand? But the Spanish language, that was forced on you. Check it out. Read it again from the beginning. Read it again from the beginning. Check it out.
Micah chapter 2, verse 2.
Come on.
And they covet fields.
Come on.
And take them by violence.
So when they took your lands by violence, they also took your heritage and your languages. And they forced Spanish on you. And in the case of the Haitians, they forced French on them. In certain cases, they forced the Portuguese language on certain brothers and sisters. Come on.
And houses.
In houses, come on.
And take them away.
And take them away, come on.
So they oppress a man.
And the Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, Mexicans, Brazilians, people from Ecuador, Mexico. Read that part again.
So they oppress a man.
So they oppress a man. And you all oppressed. We're all oppressed by one people, the white man. So you got to realize that we have one common enemy, and that's the white man. And he hates when the truth comes out. That's why he gave you this. He gave you this to make you passive. He gave you this to make you passive. Come on.
So they oppress a man.
Come on.
In his house.
In his house, come on.
Even a man.
Come on.
In his inheritance.
In his heritage. So you don't have your true heritage. You understand? Christmas is not your heritage, but a lot of Hispanics love Christmas. They love Mother's Day. I see them all on different streets. Some of the things for Mother's Day, that has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you.
I gotta go. I'm sorry. I'm working next week.
All right, what are you doing? What are you doing for a living?
Delivery.
Delivery for what company?
Postmates.
Huh?
Postmates.
Oh, that's like Uber and stuff like that, Uber Eats and stuff like that. I hear you, see, but you got to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Understand?
Nice
But know
office.
your nationality.
Hell yeah.
And know who your enemy is. Understand?
Yeah. That's dope, yeah. All right, so let's get the image here. Let's get Romans 1:26. I think he broke out. That's good, he broke out. See, because this image right here has destroyed our people right here. You understand? 1:26, 25.
Romans chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of the power into a lie.
See what it says? It's the president. Who changed the truth of who?
Change the truth of the power into a lie.
Changed the truth of the power into a lie. Who did that? The so-called white man. He did this. Because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. He wants to make it seem like he is the greatest people on the earth when they're not. They are the devil that the Bible speaks of. This is Caesar Borgia. This man actually exists when you do history. But you have to look this up. This is what our people, they don't do. They don't look things up. Yeah, read on.
Who changed the truth of the power into a lie.
Who changed the truth of the power into a lie? There's more now? That's after that. Yeah, more. Keep going. Yeah.
And worship and serve the preacher.
And worship and what?
Serve the preacher.
And worship and serve the preacher
More than the Creator.
More than the Creator. So what our people do, they bow down themselves to this. They're not supposed to do this. This is nothing right here. This is just an image. This image can't do nothing for you. This is what our people don't get, but a lot of people worship this image.
Who is blessed forever. Amen.
Who is blessed forever. Amen. Let's go to Revelation, the color of Christ. Let's see if this description here describes Christ. Says people like to worship this image here. And Revelation 1. 1:1, read straight down. Because this image here has destroyed our people right here. This image is no good. Yeah, read. Just one. Yes.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
The revelation of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. But it says the revelation, the revealing, the describing, to make known of what Christ looked like. Read.
Which the power gave unto him.
Which the power gave unto him. Read.
To show unto his servants.
Show unto his servants. Read.
Things which must shortly come to pass.
Things that which must come to pass. Okay, read.
And he sent and signified it by his angel.
And he sent and signified by his who?
By his angel.
By his angel, read.
Unto his servant John.
Unto his servant John. Read.
Verse 2. Who bear record of the word of the power.
Who bear record of the word of the power, read.
And of the testimony.
And of the testimony.
Of
the things that happened throughout history about Christ.
How long you telling?
Testimony.
It's a testimony about Christ. Things that happened to Christ. What Christ went through. Who was Christ for? Who was his mother? Who was his father? What miracles he did on the earth? Read.
Testimony of Yahushua.
Testimony of who?
Of Yahushua.
Testimony of Yahushua, not Caesar Borgia. This is not the testimony. This is Caesar Borgia. This is not Christ. Read.
But I text you Bob. I never text you back.
Read.
LA.
And of all things that he saw.
And of all things that he saw, read.
Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is he that what?
Readeth.
Blessed is he that readeth. Meaning when you read something, you will understand. Because it's very important. When you read, you're supposed to comprehend. This is how you can understand certain things when you comprehend. Yeah, read.
Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is he that readeth. Read. That goes for man and woman. Read.
And they that hear the words.
And they that what?
Hear the words.
And they that hear the words. Read.
Of this prophecy.
Of what?
Prophecy.
Of this prophecy. Meaning things that are going to happen. Read.
And keep those things which are written therein.
And keep those things that are written therein. That means whatever's written in here, we have to do it to the best of our ability. Read.
For the time is at hand.
For the what?
Time is at hand.
For the time is at hand. Meaning things are going to happen in these times. Read.
John to the 7 churches.
John to the who?
The 7 churches.
John to the 7 churches in Asia Minor. Read.
Which are in Asia Minor. Grace be unto you.
Read.
And peace from him which is and which was and which is to come.
Read on.
And from the 7 spirits.
And from the 7 spirits, meaning of the churches, read.
Which are before his throne.
Which are before his throne, read.
And from Yahushua.
And from Yahushua, read.
Who is the
Christ, read.
Who is the faithful witness?
Who is the faithful witness? He is the true witness, read.
The faithful witness.
The faithful witness, read.
And the first begotten.
And the what?
First begotten.
And the first begotten
Of the dead.
Of the dead.
And the prince.
And the prince, read.
Of the kings.
Of the kings, read.
Of the earth.
Of the earth, read.
Unto him that loved us.
Unto him that loved us, read.
Unto him that loved us. And washed us from our sins.
Right, and he washed us from our sins.
In his own blood. Verse 6. And had made us kings.
And has made us kings, read.
And priests.
And priests, read.
Unto the Most High.
Unto the Most High, read.
His Father.
His Father, read.
To him be glory.
To him be glory, read.
And dominion.
And dominion.
Forever.
For what?
Ever.
Dominion forever.
And ever.
And ever.
Amen.
Amen.
That's it. Start at 12 verse 9. Yeah, 12 verse, yeah.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
And he turned to spake. The voice that spake with him. That was John there. John was back there in the time of Christ. This is what our people don't read. This is what the churches don't teach. Read.
And being turned, and I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
When he turned, that means when you turn, that means you have to move. He said turn. He saw what?
7 golden
He
candlesticks.
saw 7 golden candlesticks. Read.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, read.
one like unto the Son of Man,
One like up to the Son of Man, read.
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
It said clothed with their garment down to the foot.
and girded.
If anybody knows the meaning of the word garment, what does the word garment mean? It just means clothing, clothes. That's what it means. Read.
And girded about the back.
We're down the garment to the foot.
One like unto the Son of Man, and clothed with a garment
All right, there you go.
down to the foot.
And clothed with the garments that I mean, this man have to have what? Clothes, right? You have to have clothes on. And also to have clothes, you have to have a body. Okay, read.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Clothed with a garment down to the foot. Read.
and girt about the path with a golden girdle.
And gird about the paps with a golden girdle. Read.
Verse 14, his head and his hair were white like wool.
It said his head and his hairs were white like wool. Now, is this man here in this picture, is his head and hairs white like wool? I don't think so. Read on.
As white as snow.
As what?
As white as snow.
As white as snow. It doesn't look like it here in this picture. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
See? And his eyes were as a flame of fire. This man's eyes here is blue. Read that photo? Flame of fire?
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Amen? Yeah. His eyes were as a flame of fire. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet like unto fine brass. Meaning he had to have color. The color of brass is what? It's brown. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So he looked so dark, he looked like if he was, what?
As if they were burned in a furnace.
So he looked so dark, he looked like if he was burned in a furnace.
And
Read
his
on.
voice.
And his what?
And his voice.
And his voice.
As the sound of many waters.
And his voice at the sound of many waters. See, he spoke very loud. Like how we're doing. Read.
And he had in his right hand.
And he had in his
stars.
right hand. So let me ask you a question. Do spirits have hands? No. Do spirits have feet? No. Read on.
The Bible
7
says it.
stars. And out of his mouth went a sharp toed.
No, start up with his right hand. Start that one. Yeah, start with right hand, yeah.
And he had in his right hand
And he had in his right hand what?
7 stars.
7 stars, read.
And out of his mouth went a sharp two-headed sword.
And out of his mouth had a 2-edged sword. Meaning what? What is they used for? Used for killing. That's what's going on there, read.
And his countenance was as the sun shining in his strength.
And his countenance, it looked like, the way he looked like if he was shining. That's how he looked when it said his countenance. But the problem is our people, they don't know the meaning of words. So you have to look these words up. And you have to match it all together when you read the word of the Most High. Read on.
And when I saw him,
And when I what?
saw him,
When I saw him. Can you see a spirit? No.
I fell.
No. It said when I saw him. So that means John, he saw Christ.
Right.
A lot of people saw Christ. So therefore, when people say, I don't know how Christ looked, he never had a color, they're lying because we're reading it right here in the book of Revelation, in the 1st chapter. Okay, read.
And when I saw him,
And when I saw him, read.
I
so,
fell.
and that's the cut there. Look at that. Christ is a man, it's not a woman. He said, because I saw what? Read that part over.
and when I saw him,
And when I saw what?
when I saw him,
When I saw him. Him is a man. Okay? Read.
I fell at his feet.
I
as
fell
dead.
at his feet. That's the key words there. I fell at his feet. Read.
As dead.
As that, read.
And he laid his right hand upon me.
And cried. Let me see. Can spirits lay their hands on you? No. He said he laid his what? His what?
His right hand.
He laid his right hand on what?
Upon me.
Upon me. He laid his right hand upon John.